Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Have you ever considered the notion that life is a story? Now for some of you it might be a horror story from time to time, but life is a story and we are the author of our own stories. But if life is a story for us, it's also a story for everyone. And not everybody's story is the same. You're all sat here this evening and we're sharing a story together. But my story is where you are sitting there hanging on my every word. Your story might be, should I have a biscuit at break time? I'm really busy at work. Maybe I shouldn't stay in the bar too long. But we all have our own stories. And what I'd like to get across to you this evening is that we can get whatever we want in life if we pay attention to other people's stories, the other side of the story. So I'd like to give you 3 examples where paying attention to other people's stories has made a big difference. The first one is a lady I know. She goes around complaining about her job. Oh, they don't pay me enough. Or when they pay me more, I'm going to do more. And she goes around and she bores everybody in work and just saying how hard done by she is. And all her colleagues are getting paid more than her. Now the other side of the story is her boss. He's sitting there behind his desk saying, oh, she's a right pain. I really wish she would do more and then I can pay her more. And if she doesn't stop moaning and complaining, I'm going to have to somehow find a way of getting rid of her. And if she'd only pay attention to the other side of the story, then she'd get exactly what she wanted. Now another example is a little close to home. In fact, closer to your home, because I'd like you to imagine that you are selling your house, selling your home. And if you don't have your own home to sell, then I'd like you to just humour me and imagine you did have one. And you have your own story as to why you want to move on and why you want to sell your house. But also the people coming to visit your house have their story too. Now maybe their story is that they have a young growing family, growing up fast, and they want to be near close to a school. And they're really worried that if they don't get near enough to a school, they're not going to be able to send their little princesses to this school of choice. Or maybe their story is that they've always wanted a dog, a golden Labrador to take for walks, and they wanted a bigger garden, they wanted to live near woods. Whatever it is, if you pay attention to what their story is, then you'll find it easy to sell your house and easier to show them how they can get what they want by buying your house. Now the third story is in relation to business. And I'm mentoring this lady at the moment, and she's been struggling in her business, and since the age of 8 she's been passionate about handwriting analysis. She's actually written a best-selling book. 100,000 copies she sold, 100,000 copies, translated in several languages. She actually set up the National Association for Handwriting, and she ran it for several years. This lady is so good, she can translate, she can do handwriting analysis on languages that she can't even understand. And yet she's struggling. She's been struggling for years because she's been all things to all people. And what we did was we looked at the common stories amongst their customers, and we picked one particular story, which was people aged over 45 who were being made redundant, really worried about whether they're going to find a job or not, and didn't want to end up working in B&Q. And now she's focused on these stories. She's starting to create new products and services, and created a whole new area of business for herself. So those are 3 different examples, and I can go on if I had more time. But what I really want to get across to you is that understanding other people's stories is really important. And we get really fixed on our own lives and doing things all about ourselves. But if we'd only pay attention to other people's stories and help them to get what they want, we'd all live happily ever after. Thank you.